All right, what is going on, ladies and gents? Oh, a little bit of Inception there. I didn't even notice that. We should be live now. What's going on, Pasternak? I see you in the chat. We're gonna get into this in a few moments, guys. I've been tagged by a few people about this whole promo video with the group 𝗕𝗏𝗧𝗍𝗍𝗍. I want to talk about it. There's two reasons why I went live here. First reason is because I want to kind of oh gosh, how do I say this? I want to try and... There's a lot of noise in the community right now, and I want to try and kind of tone that down a little bit, and there's a reason for that. Second reason is because I want to put a little bit of pressure on the team right now to talk more about the 𝗕𝗕verse, because I think they just made a move that wasn't the smartest, and that move is that I've been messaged by 3 beta testers at this point. That promo video is not the 𝗕𝗕verse, from what I'm being told. So if that's the case, and someone in 𝗕𝗕 just gave the go-ahead to release a promo video that just made the entire community think it's the 𝗕𝗕verse, 3 years, what, 3 years, 2.5 years after we're still waiting for it, that is not a good move in my opinion. So I want to talk more about this in a few minutes here. I want to wait for some people to kind of trickle in. I just got home, so let me know who's in the stream here in the chat. Who we got? Pasternak, how confident are you at this point in NFTs? My confidence in NFTs hasn't swayed. I don't think this has anything to do with NFTs in general. I still think that the infrastructure is going to be important in the future. As for this video, though, you know, I can completely understand why the community is thinking this is the 𝗕𝗕verse. First off, the environment, it matches the collectibles really well. The second reason is because of all the shadows and things like that you see in the background that kind of make it a little bit more convincing. So I don't know what program this was made in. It could be a blender, it could be just, I mean, there's so many out there where you can just import some models, build a little background, and film some scenes, and then you just edit it into a little promo video. But from what I'm being told right now, this is not the 𝗕𝗕verse, and it's quite disappointing to hear, I'm not gonna lie. And this is nothing against Corey. Corey did a fantastic job with that video. Shout out to you, man. It looks great. I love the style of it. But yeah, community's riding a high right now that I really wanted to kind of nip in the butt, because I mean, I think it's clear at this point that their communication about the 𝗕𝗕verse is we're not going to get any until a quote-unquote announcement is made. And yeah, hopefully this puts a little bit of pressure on the team to actually speak on this, because if this is not the 𝗕𝗕verse, like what I'm being told from beta testers, that was a terrible move, and whoever gave that go-ahead should not have done that. So let's get into the video here. What's going on, Alex? What are you talking about? What I'm talking about is how this promo video is not the 𝗕𝗕verse. That's what I'm talking about, my man. I hope you're doing well. I know you were actually one of the people who tagged me asking if it was, but I said there's really no way for us to know for sure, and this isn't really confirmation from the team or anything. But like I said, I've had several beta testers now DM me and say, hey, I mean, I'll use one sentence from one of them. They were like, I don't know if you know, but this is not the 𝗕𝗕verse. So that was their opening sentence. So it's disappointing to hear that. All right, let's get into this video, though. I'm gonna keep rambling. So it's not the 𝗕𝗕verse, huh? I figured it wasn't. It looks completely different from the last promo. Yeah, you know what? I didn't think so. I didn't think it was that off, and to be honest with you, I like the shadows and everything is where I was looking at the most. Like the shadows from the leaves, you can see some leaves kind of blowing back and forth. The shadows from the trees, the lighting is pretty good. I did for a second think that it could have been the 𝗕𝗕verse, so I definitely understand the confusion. 𝗕𝗿𝗫𝗀𝗀 says she thought that it wasn't the 𝗕𝗕verse either. I also thought it was just another promo video. Yeah, but here's the thing, is... First off, why start promoting the collectibles like this now, right? Which is, I mean, it's not a bad thing that they're doing it, but if you're going to start doing it, why not film it from the 𝗕𝗕verse? Right? So I understand why people are thinking this. It would be cool if it was just a vault update at this point. You never know. Never know. There's a lot of assets being used here. Unless that entire environment is just one asset that they downloaded from somebody, and in all the trees, like all the foliage is just one part. But I don't know. There was a bunch of different elements there. There was the bridge, there was the trees. Well, here, let's watch the video. What am I saying? I'd love to have more options in space to build on my phone in the vault. Absolutely. Yeah, it's been limited up until this point. Just, yeah. Capabilities with the phone are obviously lower than a computer. See, I really like the style. It actually reminds me of like the opening credits from like some movies. The movie that comes to mind is actually Tropic Thunder. I don't know why that movie comes to mind, but they do this in the beginning. I like the style, I really do. And Corey did an awesome job on the video. Another thing that also kind of made me think it was the 𝗕𝗕verse is... If you guys look at the camera movements here, there's just something about it that makes me feel like... It made me feel like these were kind of some of the creator tools. The movement just looks... It looks a little different from the Venom and Carnage, you know what I mean? A little bit more... I don't know what the word is, like, not amateur, but... the movement. Even the transitions are simple, right? And like these are the types of movements I would definitely expect to be able to do inside the vault. We actually already saw them with Tails Gothic City. I'd love a vault update just to hold us over. Completely agree. Either that or just open the web app vault, because you can do more on that, or you should be able to. But yeah, I mean, like you have all of these. If these are individual elements, then that's where I go, okay, why on earth did you guys spend so much time putting all this together when you can just do it in the 𝗕𝗕verse? Promote your own project. Because if this is not the 𝗕𝗕verse and these beta testers are right, I mean, it's just, I keep coming back to back in my head. I'm like, if these beta testers are right, why on earth go zero communication on the 𝗕𝗕verse and then release something like this? And when the topic of the 𝗕𝗕verse just got brought back up in the community as well, like I've seen more people talking about it lately, and they released this that apparently isn't the 𝗕𝗕verse, but it makes everybody think that it is, that it's the product that everybody has been waiting for. And I'm like, what? Like, who approved that? Whoever approved that, I'd be firing if this is my company. Maybe it's part of the 𝗕𝗕verse that the beta testers don't have access to. Okay. Interesting point, because I thought about that as well. But apparently, and just one of the comments I got from in one of these DMs is, it's not the same look as inside the 𝗕𝗕verse. And I know we just had Alex and 𝗕𝗿𝗀𝗀𝗀 kind of saying the same thing, but they were saying how this is, yeah, it's not the same look. I don't want to say the exact thing they said because I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble, but yeah, it's just, this is apparently, they were convinced that it's a completely separate product. So whether this is in Blender or some other, creation tool that allows you to just import assets and, film from some angles, then like cool, but we already know 𝗕𝗵𝗵 is capable of doing all that, so why not do it in the 𝗕𝗵verse? That's just what I keep coming back to. So like these, like, it's a sequence, right? Like the camera movement's doing a sequence here, right? So it moves from one spot to here, then it gets told, then it does that, right? And then it moves from 3 to 4, right? And especially like that right there. Okay, so that, like this turn, it's like a little what's the word, like choppy, not choppy, but like sudden, right? Like the turn is a little, it's not smooth. That's because there was no sequence between the starting point and the ending point, like in the middle there, to kind of smooth it out. It just goes from like the bottom to the top, and then it turns around. AI with the prompt, make forest background similar to Call of Duty background. Yeah, I don't know. There is a lot happening in this environment, right? Like this is one. Then you have the rocks. Unless it's just one big asset, right? It was created and sculpted and then textured and painted and stuff. But you have all these trees, and these trees over here are different from these trees. So I keep looking at all the shadows though. But yeah, I like, and that's, yeah, I wanted to go live. There's really not much more to say to that, to be honest, but I really just wanted to go live, and yeah, because I'm surprised that the team made that call if this is not the 𝗕𝗵verse. Like I'm refreshing my phone right now on X, and my Twitter feed is like 𝗕𝗵's post, potentially a 𝗕𝗵verse tease, right? Presidential, another 𝗕𝗵verse post. 𝗕𝗏_𝗏𝗧, 𝗕𝗵verse teaser just dropped, right? Like everybody thinks it's the 𝗕𝗵verse. So like at this point, they created their own fire with this one, so they really got to put the fire out. They got to say something. They like, yeah. I want to be careful with what I'm saying here, but MC, Corey, 𝗕𝗏𝗏, Magic, anyone on the team who's listening to this, whoever made the call, like just forward the video to them. That was like, if this isn't the 𝗕𝗵verse, guys, come on. That's how you're gonna lose people like me. I really can't put it any other way. Rock is too plastic-like. Ground at times lacks texture. Looks like a 10-year-old game, really. Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. The Real Hanano. First off, what's up, man? I hope your birthday went well. Thanks for stopping by. It'd be cool to have some clarity. Yeah, I completely agree. That was the second reason why I put this out, to try and put some pressure on the team, because they need to say something after this. They got to say something. And I wouldn't be surprised right now if they're getting crap from beta testers. If beta testers are in there, they clearly know whether this is the 𝗕𝗵verse or not. And if any beta testers are listening to me here, yeah, I would be submitting a ticket or putting something in and saying, hey guys, like, either what are you doing, or say something to the community, because this is crazy now. Is Fro one of the beta testers? Yeah, he's one of the beta testers. He is one of the beta testers. Actually, you know what? That's a fair point. That's a good point. I completely brushed over that. I didn't even think about that. That is a fair point. Fro is a beta tester himself. I'm gonna go back to his post here. One sec. Looks a bit like mine, just with less Electras. Interesting. Double cool. I think imagination is running away just because it's been so long since we've had an AMA or any updates. You know, that's a really good point. It's a really good point. I do imagination, but also I think just excitement about the Viviverse. Like, to the point where I think some people are going to actually get access and they're just not going to care enough anymore, you know? Had a great time. Awesome. Awesome. And by the way, dude, I saw your new beast and D's new beast. You guys both got one. They look wicked. I have yet to get myself a beast. I've been looking into that project, but looks awesome. What's going on, Doug? Evening. It's late for you, man. I appreciate you watching the live stream here. If you're just tuning in, we just broke the news that apparently this isn't the Viviverse. That's what I'm getting word from testers, but we're now reading Fro's post here that he says potential Viviverse tease. So it's interesting. Now, another thought that I did have when I first saw the video was I did see that MC had reposted it and said Corey did an awesome job. Pretty much suggesting that Corey made the video. That was also kind of another thing that made me think that it might have been in the Viviverse, is because, okay, hang on, if Corey's in the team, or on the team, and he, sorry, I got distracted there. He takes care of all that editing for the videos and puts out some of these promos with like the comics and stuff like that, then it would make sense if this is the Viviverse. But if Vivi is watching this, maybe we can get a community update video regarding the Viviverse, CTO leaving, MCP, and Omi plans. Yeah, there's a lot happening right now. Now, man, if they put this video out because of some of that CTO stuff, it was just like, hey, like, you know, let's get something else for the community to talk about, and this is actually the Viviverse, then amazing. And if this is the Viviverse, I wouldn't be disappointed. I really wouldn't. If you guys take a look at like all the shadows and the lighting and everything, it's not bad at all. Well, even right there at the end, this is a perfect example, right? Like, look at the shadows and everything. And these are all moving. Like, look along here, right? It's like that stuff is it's big in gaming. All the trees are moving. These leaves are moving as well. So I wouldn't be disappointed if this is the Viviverse, but I will say that if it's not, then the team just made a mistake, and they gotta put some fires out. This is also what they get for not giving us enough info, though. I shouldn't even say not giving us enough info, just zero communication, because now it's just speculations. It's just through the roof. And everybody's got all the different thoughts of what could be happening, and is it still like real? Is it not? Like, it's just crazy. We need an official statement saying if there's either a promo or preview for a future environment. It's getting long in the tooth with these teasers. Yep. I'm getting to get a couple beasts. I just don't have the funds right now. No worries, man. Thoughts become things. Thoughts become things. Keep working towards it. And by the way, man, I've been seeing some of your posts about I don't want to use that word, but the journey you're going through on your end. I know you made a post a couple weeks ago about a night where you made a bit of a mistake, but don't worry, man. Keep pushing through it. You'll get through it on the other end. You got people like me in the community, so just know that. I sold some assets to buy D's Beast. The price was too cheap. There you go. I actually don't know what the price of beasts are. What is the floor? Do you know? I really like what they're doing with I don't exactly know how it works, but like all the plugins for the different animations, so that it's like your specific beast in the animation. But That's really cool. I also saw Cryptoi's move with the mobile games, the AR games, which are cool. No, it's interesting because there's things in this video that make me think it's VVverse, things that don't, but it's just I find Fro's post the most interesting now because if I don't want to click my messages, but if I have 3 people DMing me saying, hey, it's not the VVverse, who have access to the VVverse right now, but then you also have people who are in there making posts like potential teas, then to be honest, I can't really take the DMs that I took or got as like hard proof. I really can't, because this guy's in the VVverse. He wouldn't be making posts like this if it's not. So it's up in the air, but that doesn't change my opinion on whether on whether VV should be saying something or not right now. It's long overdue. VVverse is desperately needed, and now that this topic is out there of whether it is or isn't, they need to clarify this. Like it's overdue, like I said. Who else we got in the chat here? I would love if Fro can stop by, man. That would help a lot. Now, another thing that I should point out here too, and this is small because it could have just been added between when people were saying this and now, but people were saying that water is not in the VVverse. And this is water, so just something to consider. Like I said, it could have been added, but last I checked, the Beast was going for 260 with gas included. Not bad at all. Original mint was 180. I almost bought a Beast 4 months ago for 600. Glad I waited. Yeah, see, not just VV going downhill, guys. I shouldn't say downhill. Sorry. Not trying to like insult the company. Talking about the prices though. The market is very low. There's no denying that. It's the camera movements and the shadows that make me most suspicious. But what are everyone's thoughts? What is everyone thinking? Would you guys even be happy if this is the VVverse or no? Would you want something better? I do also want to point out how much grass and foliage is here. Not like it's like a bare ground. So that helps a lot in these types of environments. The lighting here looks a little odd, but other than that, the shadows and everything, I'd be happy with that, really. You can do so much with that, so. Not even placed fully on the ground. His foot is levitating a little bit. See that? Alex says, I'd be happy with this type of VV-verse. In my opinion, it's better than what we saw with the city. Yeah, like I said, I'd be happy with this as well. And guys, just to be clear, I'm not trying to like bash Vivi or anything. Like I said, when I started this stream, the main reason I went live was to try and calm down some of the noise, because if this is not the Vivi-verse, they just created a big storm. So yeah, Real Hanano says, until I hear anything official, it's a promo to me. I'd agree with that. I don't want a forest. I want a castle. Double quill. What is up with you and castles? What is up? Do you live in a castle? Let me ask you that. I know you're in Vegas, but I would not be surprised. I'd be happy with that as a VV-verse. Resolution would be presumably be way better running off your GPU than a video. Yeah, this would be on a PC for sure, right here. I don't know if this would be like max graphics. If this is the VV-verse, I don't know if it's max graphics, but you know what makes me think it would be though, is because of the amount of foliage and the amount of stuff that's actually moving. So you have all the lighting, you have the shadows reflecting from the lighting, then you have the all the foliage here, and then the textures and all the other stuff it needs to render. So this makes me that would make me think that this is probably the highest setting, if not close to it. I'd be happy with anything right now. Give us something VV-verse related. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just want a place to display my comics, Richard says. Richard, thanks for stopping by, man. Yeah. Home space, VV. If anyone from the team is watching this, come on, guys. Seriously, it's desperately needed at this point. I made a comment in our last live stream that if you were here in season 1, there were 3 ways to have fun on VV: drop experience, AR experience, and vault experience. Now you fast forward to today, it's the same 3. So VV-verse will add a lot to that list, and we needed it yesterday. So I also wouldn't be saying any of this if the beta testers weren't still in there, because what that tells me is that access is still a thing. If they weren't in there, then there would be a way bigger question mark, and okay, what's really going on? Is it regulations? Is it something that happened with their licensors? Is it something that happened internally? Do they not have enough money to fund the project? I don't know. But beta testers are still in there. So if they have access, it means that they can give more people access. It's their choice. So that just hasn't happened because they've made that choice. I'm a little bit behind the chat here. Oh my god. I'd be happy with anything right now. Give us, yep, read that. If VV-verse was anything like Nifty Island, I'd be happiest. Nifty Island actually has some cool features. So yeah, I would like that, but I would need better graphics, because Nifty Island is a little bit more of a what's the term? A small amount of pixels. Low geometry. What's the word? Poly something. But I think you guys know what I mean, like Minecraft. Master Ronnie, man, thank you for stopping by. I saw the video of you in the UK with you going to watch the movie with 𝗖𝗵𝗵, and all the others, Captain Falcon. That video was awesome, dude. I wish I was there. Nifty Island is a real yawn. They should stop calling it a first and just call it what it actually is, Vault 2.0. Respectfully, I disagree with that, just because there are way more features that's going to be coming with this, and things that you can create because of those features. So I mean, the light, like things like the lighting and then that feature to kind of change like textures on the walls and the ceiling and stuff like that, that's all going to be like aesthetics, right? But a really, really important part of the VVverse is if you picture kind of things that are already happening in the community, like X spaces, all of that is going to transfer into there, right? Once the VVverse is a space that people can get into with, you know, their average device. That's the thing, is that when they first drop it, I don't think that's going to be the case. And if they wait too long, then we're back to that conversation of like, oh, well, even the people who are really excited to get in there get the invite, and then they're not really excited to even get in there, right? So, people love the space I build in the... Oh, Ronnie, are you a beta tester? Oh, dude, if you are, that would really help a lot here. Can you confirm that in the chat? Whoever knows what the VVverse looks like now, it's been over a year. Making sure I'm not missing any of the comments here in the chat. Don't think I am. But yeah, if you guys are just tuning in, there's a big question mark in the air now of whether this is the VVverse or not. So we need answers. All right, here we go. We signed an NDA to not show any pictures. They are working on bringing the next wave or making it public. It just takes time to implement everything. It's harder and takes more resources than people think. Yeah, no, I definitely get that, man. And I think VV kind of bit off a little bit more than they could chew at first, because it's clear that the VVverse, and David has said this isn't something that I'm making up, but he said that the VVverse wasn't even like part of their initial idea. Kind of came into the picture once the whole metaverse talk started. But yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. There's also a lot of upkeep. There's a lot of upkeep. If you want to do it like reliably and consistently, there's a lot of upkeep. What would really help right now, though, is if they let beta testers at least release some photos. That would really help. And for things that are like beta tests, they're all different lengths. Like there's some that span a couple weeks, there's some that it'll go 6 to 8 months, some it'll go like 1 to 2 years. It depends on the complexity of the project, and then also like the size of the team and studio and stuff like that. We just had Marvel Rivals go into beta, which is going to be Marvel's new game releasing end of year. Highly anticipated game. It was in beta for a week and a half. So they opened it, okay? And I can't remember if it was just for the period during the beta or if it was a little bit before that, but they allowed content creators to start releasing videos and content around the game before launch. So now that's gotten a lot more people hyped up. So I really hope that they're going to start doing that. And if they do plan on doing it, then the reason they probably haven't done it yet is because they're still not even close to releasing it, which is... I hope that's not the case, but... I like hearing that from a tester. Yeah, man. We need, like, here's the hard truth. We need more beta testers to talk. Okay? And I understand why people are going to be hesitant for the most part, because you guys have signed an NDA. You don't want to, you know, put yourselves in jeopardy of getting sued or whatever, right? But it's clear that you guys can talk about your experiences, right? So we just need more people to do that. I'm probably the most active beta tester. I'm spending hundreds of hours so you guys can have a better experience. Appreciate that, man. Well, it's good to know that you're spending a lot of time in there. You're not getting bored. Personally, I want VV-verse with easy enough camera. Yeah, and that's what I think you're seeing in this video. Because this isn't movement with like a joystick on the app. It's too smooth. Even if you stabilize the footage. I think they're going way too far with radio silence. I know they want to prevent overhype, but it makes it look like nothing is happening, but more of the same. Yeah. Yeah, I understood the silence for a little bit because there was that point where they were saying a little bit too much. And you know what's actually funny about that is Dan, the last update, the last actual information we got about updates around the release of the VV-verse, okay, not just like rounds of beta testers and stuff, was from Dan in December of last year. He actually made the comment about how he knew that he needed to be careful about his words. And so he said, oh, just to kind of be conservative, we're about a few weeks out because we have, you know, I think it was like 20 something or 30 something collectibles to finish importing the textures for, or something along those lines, okay? Oh, damn it. I hit mute on my mic, guys. My elbow hit mute on my mic. I'm sorry. Oh gosh. What was I saying? I don't know where I got cut off there, but I was talking about how Dan, oh, I don't have access. My PC's. But yeah, back to 𝗕𝗵𝗵 comment here for a sec. Sorry, I got distracted there. I need to get better at this live streaming stuff. It's harder than it looks, people, okay? But yeah, I think they are being a little too much now with the radio silence. We're past that point where they understood that they were saying a little bit too much. People were getting too hyped up. They couldn't kind of meet those expectations. They went a little bit more quiet, but now they've been too quiet for too long. And MC right now, I want to talk about MC for a sec because I think he's doing a really good job, and I hope he hears this. MC is, think of him like the shield for soldier, okay? Because he's the community manager, he's at the forefront of everything happening between us and the business. He's deflecting all the negativity. Well, not deflecting it, sorry, but he has to absorb all the negativity and the positivity and bring that to the team, right? So he gives that same answer of, oh, well, we can't really make any announcements around the VV-verse until there's an announcement to be made, right? And then people get mad at him for it. That isn't his call, and that's not him at all. People like MC, 𝗖𝗚, they're obviously being told from people higher up, their bosses, on what they can't say, and that influences like what their day-to-day, right? Their day-to-day rules. And that, unfortunately, is going to have an impact on how they look to the community as well. So MC is in a position where he needs to absorb all that without showing any emotion and getting frustrated about it, while knowing that he has to give the same answer, but probably at the same time he wants to talk about all of it, right? So I just want to make that point because I think he's doing a fantastic job. And there are probably people on the team who do want to talk about the VV-verse more and kind of share more information about this, but it's people higher up that are making these calls. So it's not the people that we're talking to in spaces. Those falls lead to back case. I got to catch up here. If I was Vivi, I would think twice before putting too many resources in the VV-verse, since as a business, it could potentially not bring my company profits. That's a hard one. That's a hard one, because the VV-verse is the virtual environment, which is going to propel pretty much everything. Yeah, that's a hard one, man, because okay, so let's use Fortnite as an example here. Fortnite just released their Marvel update like 2 days ago. The amount of money that probably just flowed into Fortnite from that update is millions of dollars from people either getting the battle pass or just buying skins in the store, because now it's a new game. The hype's back, the fun's back, right? People are back in the store spending money. The reach is there, and that's what the digital products provide. Like the virtual environment provides the reach. It also gives people like us, the community that they've already established, a space to hang out and do things more. So I would actually argue that the VVverse is like the most important part of their business, aside from the collectibles themselves. That's just my opinion on that, because I come from the gaming side, so like there's so many applications that you can introduce in so many use cases for the collectibles. And that's with current tech. Like, I'm not even talking about like VR and all the AR stuff and like where things are kind of going with it. I know the Vision Pro just had a little bit of a flop, but I do think a lot of people will start buying like crazy when they get in. Yeah. The VVverse will become one of the most important, probably revenue streams for the business. Longer term, I'm talking about when it's more established and people have kind of built more in it, but now another interesting kind of side you can look at it from is, don't just think from the user standpoint. So think from the companies. So if they end up developing a space where you have a lot of active users on a day-to-day, right, which is what they intend, having established our audience from the beginning, then that's going to be appealing for the brands. The brands are now going to want to come in and build spaces where they can advertise, right? And then we're kind of back to that topic of the main stages that VV goes through, which is like they introduce security at the beginning, right? The security is what brought on the brands. The brands bring the offerings and the products, and then you add the utility to the products and the offerings. That same exact process is going to happen with the VVverse, right? So then those brands are going to come in, they're going to start sponsoring some stuff, right? Even content creators, spaces that like virtual builders might build, right? Just wherever the traffic is, right? And then that makes the VVverse even better, right? Because now people are relating more to the brands and the products and the things that they've always loved. I gotta catch up here because I'm still way behind. You guys are probably commenting on things I'm saying way down below. A lot is happening. 𝗙𝗫𝗫, the team are putting in a lot of work there. Very communicative with us beta testers. I see improvements and updates on a regular basis. Yeah. So, yeah, and I was just in a space too with 𝗙𝗫𝗫. 𝗙𝗫𝗫 said the same thing. The team is working their butts off right now. And I don't want to deny that, right? There's a full team right now that's probably losing sleep. I get that. And hearing that they're communicative with beta testers is good. I've also heard from beta testers that there's more features and bugs that have been, or more features that have been introduced and bugs that have been fixed. So the experience from when they first started versus now is different. You can make it work with a lower power PC. Yeah, lower graphics though. I want to be clear about that, people. Lower graphics if you have a lower power PC. System requirements. Your system will matter. Will be worth the wait. Probably most of the people that are invited are not actively building, so unless you will want to put a lot of time to build your dream world / building, it's likely you will. Well, yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of people who don't have access that should have access right now, who would be building. Let me put it that way, so. And the team knows this. I'm not saying anything they don't know, but We've had so much cool stuff start to happen for the community since MC joined the team. Hell yeah. I think he did a fantastic job in San Diego as well, with all the content and the live commentaries and stuff like that. I think he's crushing it. I think he's doing a fantastic job. I think it was a really smart hire on Vivi's part to do that. I know it was a little bit of a kind of what's the word? The community didn't really like it, right? Because obviously the content on his channel is a lot less, but yeah, completely agree. I have seen the changes, and keeping in mind the guy's ran a business himself in the same space. And he's a passionate collector. You can see it. You can see it. You can hear it in his voice. And that falls in line with people like David and Dan, so I think he's a perfect fit. Regarding the people leaving, being let go from Vivi, I don't understand why people are worried about this. Vivi so far hired great people that we know of, and let go of the ones they didn't they needed to. Yeah, I can't really comment on that too much because I spoke about it in, I think it was yesterday's live stream. I don't really know the guy too much. I've heard the name several times, but, and then of course, us being not on the team, there's no way to kind of confirm what happened. So I feel like too much speculation here just really makes the situation worse. In the case of the Viviverse, I think more speculation is putting more pressure on the team to say something now. So that's why I think that's a little bit okay on that side, but I can't really speak about him too much, man. I know he made some comments about some stuff being off internally, but then we also did see some teammates, I think it was Putin Cheeks, kind of hop in and say that what he was saying was wrong. So kind of like hearsay at that point. I have an i5 laptop with an integrated graphics card. Sometimes it crashes, but I make it work. Okay. Now, can I ask you, Ronnie, what settings are you running? Are you running lowest graphics on a laptop like that? Or do you have like a little bit of, you know, medium to higher settings and that's why it's crashing? Or is it just because of the amount of, you know, elements that are in your space? Can I also ask you this? If it crashes and you're building halfway through, is there auto save or do you lose progress? I know I'd sure take a couple days of vacation if I got the test for Viviverse. Yeah, dude, I'm in the same boat, man. I already told my clients don't call me for a week. I'm going to be taking time off. Well, not time off. I'm going to be pulling a couple all-nighters, but yeah, I'm going to be in there a lot. And I will be going live the moment I see that invite, by the way, guys. So my first impressions, you guys will be with me. We're going to be pretty much walking through all the inventory, the different spaces, all the settings, the creator tools, pretty much the entire platform. Then we're going to start building and pretty much get right into it. So that should be loads of fun. Whenever that comes, you know. That guy who left is starting his own company, I believe. I believe he's actually been running the company already. So, if you have a plan B, you're never 100% focused on plan A. Cheeks made it sound like Nestor kind of dipped in spirit a while back anyways. The impression I got from that tweet was there may have just been some kind of disagreement between him and whoever management was. And then that was kind of his way of, I don't want to say lashing out, but getting back, you know? He might have just had like a different vision. Management didn't fall in line with that or whatever, but social media is a dangerous place. I have it on gaming mode, and yes, Because of the amount of elements in my space, 100%. Okay. Good to know. Can't comment on too many details. No worries, man. I'm not trying to get you in trouble. I appreciate that you're answering questions to begin with, so thank you for that. But yeah, guys, if you guys are just tuning in, oh, we got Swampy in here. What is going on, man? If you guys are just tuning in, we kind of started this live stream talking about how I've gotten some DMs from beta testers saying this isn't the 𝗕𝗕verse. But as the live stream's kind of gone on, we've come across posts from other beta testers who are in there, who are commenting on the video saying potential tease. So at this point, question mark is still in the air. We don't know. But I think that what is clear at this point is that the team needs to be saying something. Communication is absolutely zero. I get they're a private company. I've talked about that before. But to suggest almost that not a single thing could have been said over the course of this year is crazy to me. And if this is not the 𝗕𝗕verse and they happen to just hit us with this promo while everybody is super hyped up and eagerly anticipating the flippin' 𝗕𝗕verse, then whoever made that call made a bad call. So we just need clarification at this point. That's kind of what I don't understand. As far as I know, a CTO is super busy with the company. I don't understand how he was able to work on a side project. Well, you guys want to know a funny story? I got fired from a job once because I had a side project. And this was right after I closed my first company. So when I closed my first company, I got another job to kind of hold myself while I was making the transition. And my boss at that job eventually found out about the business that I was building digitally and let me go because of that. And it goes back to that phrase that I said about how if you have a plan B, you're never 100% focused on plan A. I was in a management role at that business. And so the boss looked at that and said, hey, or one of our managers doesn't see him being here, you know, long term, get him out, right? They saw it's just, I'm just another number on the stat sheet, really, right? So Aspu commented he didn't participate in their blockchain meetings in over 9 months. As a CTO, how? Very good question. Very good question, dude. Very good question. Just tagged you in a tweet that Brock just put out. Sounds pretty cool. Do you like our new 𝗕𝗕verse with trees? Well, you know what? Hang on a sec. Okay. Let me read the tweet. Oh, I'm pulling it up on my phone, guys. God. Let's see. Your collectibles are yours. Buy and sell as you please. But if you sold a fiche after the snapshot, then unfortunately you've been disqualified from this upcoming airdrop of the legendary 𝗕𝗵𝗵∗ dancing his way into the collection very soon on 𝗕𝗕 official. Is this what you meant to tag me in, dude? Or was it something else? The first thing I thought ran through my head. Blaming tech failures on CEO or CTO. Is this what you meant to tag me in, Duck? What am I missing something here? Or did he post something else? Oh, hang on a sec. Sorry, I'm misunderstanding. I misunderstood that. I read Master Ronnie's comment as it was Brock's post. Do you like our new 𝗕𝗕verse with trees? I thought it was Brock trolling the community. Or is that his tweet? I just don't see it. Oh, Oh, I've had too much coffee today. Oh, that is it. Okay. Don't know what it is, but it's not the airdrop we're waiting for. Yeah, shout out to Brock, by the way, dude. The amount of utility he gives his community is insane. And I like how fast he did with those burns. I was saying it's going to be interesting to see how his future drops do, because I think it was 2 days that he waited before he burned the rest of the supply. And now if people kind of buy into his drops thinking that that's going to happen again, then there's going to be a lot more fear loss. So okay, but it's coming to Vivi, so we'll keep our eyes on that. See, so this ground is just a texture, pretty sure, because there's no like all of the leaves and like dirt and stuff on the ground. It's all just flat, if you guys know what I mean. It's just hard to tell if this entire environment is something that was built and then just imported all at once, or if they built this specifically for the promo. Like sorry, let me backtrack for a sec. Whether this was a 3D asset that they just acquired and then just imported and then just made the video, or if they built this themselves. Because I know Corey's kind of the camera and editing guy, so I don't know if he actually did like all of the work inside of this environment, or if he just made the video, but interesting to say the least. At this point, GTA 6 is released sooner than the VVverse. Dude, the release date for GTA 6 is 2025. I hope not. I hope not, dude. I hope not. But just to recap for anyone just tuning in, my opinion on this is that if it is the VVverse, I would not be disappointed. I would be happy with this, with all the shadows, all the elements and everything that's kind of happening all at once here. So you have things that are moving. So if you look here, trees are moving. Okay. You have foliage in all the grass, quite thick. It's not like it's bare or anything like that. All the different types of trees, the different textures on the ground. It does look like this is just a skybox, like this was just kind of built in the sky, but I see a little bit of fog in the distance there. Right here. But yeah, the lighting, everything working off the lighting, so the reflections from like the moving leaves and things like that. I would be happy with this. If it's not, though, I don't know who on earth made that call and why they thought that was a smart decision, but hey. They've had 11 years to finish GTA 6. You know what's going to be hard to beat, though, is all the mods that came out for GTA 5, because I don't know if you guys have seen some of like the realistic mods for that game, where it like melts some people's like $3,000 computers. Insane what some of that stuff looks like. Later, Doc. Thank you so much for dropping by, man. Have a good rest of your night. We'll talk soon. By the way, if you want to join me in Fortnite for some of the Marvel season, let me know. They have 8 more years to finish the VVverse. Alex, stop! No! Pasternak just picked up a Venom Mint 90 at floor. Let's go! There we go. Sniping is a bit more difficult these days, but still can happen. Absolutely. Yeah, that's a nice collectible too. Carnage and Venom came out fantastic. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but that Carnage collectible is also like exactly like the concept. I was expecting it to kind of vary in a, you know, some way, but it is exactly like the concept. Same pose, same everything. This would be stupid if it's not a preview. Jess, first off, thanks for stopping by. And second off, completely agree with you. Completely agree with you. It would be, yeah. Especially because now what's going to happen is if this isn't, and I keep going if, because this is all speculation, but at this point, this is like Vivi put this on themselves. Like, speculation's going to happen with stuff like this now. If this isn't the environment, now what is going to happen is when they release the Viviverse, people are going to compare this to that. And if the Viviverse doesn't add up or isn't the same quality as this, then I'll finish the sentence there. I got Frozone number 69 this week, close to the floor. I keep telling myself I'm not going to buy anything else for the next 3 months, but I can't help myself when I see good deals. Yeah, that is, that's what Vivi does too, yeah. Wes, thanks for stopping by, man. If you're just tuning in. Viviverse in the background. Yeah, that's the big question right now. So if you're just tuning in, the topic that we've kind of talked about is whether or not this is the Viviverse, because I've gotten DMs from people saying it's not, and these people are in the beta. And then we also have kind of come across some posts of people in the beta saying that this is a potential tease. So there's many things that make me think this could potentially be the Viviverse, but there's so many tools out there, guys, nowadays where you can, I mean, just Blender's a simple example. You can just import your assets, create a little scene or a background, and just film and kind of cut that into a promo, right? Now, if they did that, it would be dumb, because they should just do that in the Viviverse with their own project. Not to mention, if they can't do that in the Viviverse yet, you shouldn't be promoting something else that makes people think that it is the Viviverse. But if it is the Viviverse, I was saying that I'm happy with it. I'm happy with this being the starting point. The shadows, everything kind of moving all at once. There's a lot kind of going on. So you have the shadows being rendered, the reflections, you have the moving trees, you have all the elements. Shrubbery and foliage is quite thick. It's not thin. It's not like it's, you know, there's no grass or anything. So computer's gonna have to render all that. And then you have all the different textures and stuff. So I wouldn't be disappointed with this. It's just the question right now is if it is the Viviverse, and the team's got to answer this now. Like, they got to do something. That is, and to be honest, that is the reason why I'm still alive, is because I hope they click on this and they hear me talking, and like we gotta, like, there's got to be some pressure on them now. Crazy. And unfortunately, going back to that topic of MC having to kind of absorb everything from the community, he's gonna have to absorb a lot right now. I don't think Vivi will fail. I believe they will dominate later, and this is why I'm chasing MCP. I received over 6,000 daily MC. 6,000, damn. And I will, for the most part, never miss a drop. There you go, man. Well, hey. I don't want this live stream to seem like I'm trying to bash Vivi. They are doing a lot of fantastic things. So I don't want to discredit them for any of that stuff, like the IP that they're still introducing, all the different stuff that they're experimenting with, the crafting. I mean, obviously they have teams in the background working on things we don't know about as well. They've had to increase in staff. They're dealing with people leaving. Like, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. So I don't want to bash them, but what I will say is that I'll bash the mistake that they just made here, because if this isn't a Viviverse, it's a mistake. It's a mistake. They should position themselves badly with this. They position themselves badly with this video, in my opinion. Yeah. Well, it just depends, right? I would agree with that if it's not. If it is the Viviverse, then I think it's a good promo. I really do like the style. I was saying how it kind of reminds me of the intro credits, the intro monologues on some movies. where it kind of introduces all the different characters for the film. So Alex and Crypto, oh my god, 6,000 points a day is insane. Yeah, 6,000 is insane. I think a master collector is, it's like 70 something, 7,500 a day or something. So you're not far off. You're not far off. The West, dude. Appreciate the donation, my man. Thank you so much. If I had the funds, I'd definitely go for every drop too. I just feel like minting NFTs are going to matter one day. Completely agree. Completely agree. Yeah, and guys, for anyone, because I think the first question I was asked in this stream was whether I still believe in NFTs or not. I would direct people to the technology adoption curve. If you guys haven't seen that photo, actually here, let me pull it up. One sec. Because what Vivi is going through in the grand scheme of things is not unusual. It's just sometimes when you kind of get caught up in stuff like this, it's harder to kind of pull yourself away. And the phrase I like saying is, you know, instead of being the speck in the painting, pull yourself away and see the full painting hanging on the wall. Sometimes that's a little difficult to do. So what was I searching here? Technology.
Thanks for the Vive content.
Curve. Let me get a good one here. Where is the, oh, this one shows different companies. Do that. Okay, so, oops. There we go. Everyone see that? I think everyone sees that, right? Yeah, this is, okay, so this is the technology adoption curve. You have the early innovators, or you have the innovators, right, being the companies, the early adopters, right, behind those companies. Then you have the chasm, okay? So that's kind of like, we've kind of already experienced that a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if we're in this for a little bit longer. But we're just kind of like, we're just like, we're here, right? Like, so, and then look at all the companies that have kind of followed the same pattern, right? I also, one of the first videos I did on the channel was an analysis of Amazon stock back in the day. Amazon had very similar movement. I'm not talking about, pardon me, I'm not talking about when compared to 𝗖𝗵 right now. I did actually compare it to 𝗖𝗵 in that video. But in terms of kind of how the company started, nobody really believed in them. Then they completely fell off. So much so that Bezos actually had to like personally call some shareholders to try and like kind of like reignite their interest in the company. It's just, it's, yeah, what they're going through is, it's not unusual. The question is, where do you have, oh wait, I missed some comments here. I think they won't answer if it's the Viviverse or not. And this is mainly why they positioned themselves badly. Yeah. Well, whoever made the call internally too just put a lot of pressure on MC. Which, I mean, it's his job. He is community manager. He's the face of the company in terms of who the community speaks to. But yeah, he's going to be facing a lot right now. He's going to have to absorb a lot. And if he's not allowed to say anything, that's going to be an annoying situation if I was him. Master collector is like 2,500 points a day. Oh, I was way off then. What was I thinking? Level 100? Maybe I was thinking level 100. I was just talking with Felix. If anyone knows Felix from the German community, but Felix is a master collector and he's close to level 100. That dude is huge in MCP. So bullish in that program, and he collects a lot of collectibles just to earn points. So he has like 100 and I can't remember the exact number. He showed me a stack, but he has like 130 of the new Ron English secret rare music discs that just dropped, which equates to a lot of points. I don't know what a secret rare is worth, but he told me that I think it was 7,500 or something. Or I guess it's level 100 then, but. Wes is a large collector himself, actually, so I believe what you have to say, man. The question is, where do you evaluate where they're positioned in the adoption curve? Well, okay, so earlier, this is just my thought process because there's no definitive answer. I can't give you a definitive answer on that, but earlier, so this back here would be the 2015 to 2017 era. So when David and Dan are riding around in their cars, going meeting to meeting to try and sign licensors that are saying no to them because they don't understand what the tech is. They've never heard of an NFT. They don't know what digital collectibles are or the blockchain, right? That's that era, okay? Then you have right around here, going up into here. That's the early 2020, I think it was 2021, when Omi went to nearly 1 cent. I think it was like 85, 0.0085 or 89. I think that's where I bought into at first. That is when everybody started hearing more about the term NFTs. They started to research, okay, what are NFTs? They started buying into it. And this included some of the people who, okay, does the research and then looks at it and goes, okay, I believe in what these things are, and they could potentially have a purpose in the future, right? Here is now where that bubble popped. And it didn't just pop for NFTs, it popped for real estate, it popped for stocks, everything went down. Another example that just happened recently was the largest stock market crash with the Dow and the NASDAQ going down. The NASDAQ went down like, was that 1,000 points in a single day or something like that, but it was like $3 trillion in value left the stock market in a single day. Okay, people lost their life savings that day. Okay, so that's why I still think we're here, right? But there's no real definitive answer here because it's subjective. Everybody's gonna have different points and different things they remember as well. I can't remember every single little thing along the way, but someone needs to update these voice chats, how to pronounce VV. You guys got to start spelling it V-I-V-I. I think that's how it'll say it. I don't want to hear V when the bull run comes again. That's funny. The way I see it, people put their money into Bitcoin and ETH, which is great for investments, but I put my weekly extra money into VV. Bitcoin took time to become what it is, and VV is my Bitcoin. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Everything that we're talking about, people, for anyone just tuning in, is all subjective, though. It's all going to be based on your opinion and the position that you're in. So just remember that, like, whatever other people are doing doesn't necessarily mean that you should do it. And always consider whether they're in a position you want to be in. That's something I would also note. But we got the man himself in the chat. We got Fro. Fro, dude. I saw your post, and you're confusing me a lot here, man. Okay, I got a couple DMs from beta testers saying this is not the VV-verse. And then I see some posts going out from other beta testers like yourself saying that it's a potential tease. So I know you signed an NDA. I don't want to get you in trouble. But if you can say anything about the promo video, can you give us your thoughts, opinions? Obviously not a yes or a no, whether it's the VV-verse or not, but I mean, I guess I don't even know what you would be able to say. What am I saying, man? Maybe ignore me, but we're just obviously so eager to get in there. We just, like, I was saying to 𝗖𝗚𝗏 the other day, I was in a space in WebV, and it was me, Osman, Docta, and then 𝗖𝗚𝗏 popped in. And I was like, oh my god, this is my chance. I was like, I don't need to try and schedule a call with him. I was like, there's nobody in the space right now. Let me ask him a question about the VV-verse. I'm like, I'm just, my chance, I'm gonna poke and prod. And of course he couldn't really say anything, but that's where I'm at right now, where any chance I can ask or talk about it, I'm going to, because we're past due here. So but regardless, man, I hope you're having tons of fun in there too. Bro, we've been waiting for you. Technically yes and no. Technically yes and no. Okay. Interesting. 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 So could this just be a space that they opened up and they made, but beta testers don't have access to it? Could that be a possibility? And yes, I know, more speculation. But hey, 𝗵𝗵, you're listening to this, give us something. I'm level 86 and I have about 5,100 NFTs between collectibles and comics with 236 sets. 236 sets, dude. That's impressive. That's impressive. What a collection, man. 𝗵𝗵, what's your goal on the app? You have like a specific goal you're trying to hit? Is there like a certain piece you're trying to collect that you haven't been able to get yet, or? Hey Josh, you're well, late coming in. When you get a chance, could you give us a two-minute overview of what you said? Yeah, so here's a quick recap. I started a live stream pretty much saying I'm going live for 2 reasons. First reason is because I'm getting DMs from beta testers telling me this isn't the 𝗵𝗵verse. And I wanted to try and put a little bit of silence to the noise, because we've obviously seen things blow up time and time again that haven't, become a reality. So I wanted to kind of butt in there a little bit. The second reason was because I wanted to put pressure on the team to say something now. Because if this is not the 𝗵𝗵verse, they need to, they shouldn't be promoting something that makes our community kind of, assume that it is, and then not talk or say anything about it. Zero communication. So all the speculation at this point, it's on them. They lit the fire, they got to kind of put it out themselves. So that's kind of what we talked a little bit about. The confusing part around all of this, though, is that I also have seen beta testers, 𝗕𝗏 being an example, who put out posts talking about how this is a potential tease, and these are people who have access. So if there's an inconsistency between the people who have access, then we still don't have like an actual answer. So we don't know whether this is the 𝗵𝗵verse or not. And that's kind of where we're at right now. So I'm still alive because I hope the team clicks on this and says something or does something, because if it's not, they're going to frustrate a lot of people, myself included. Wes says, I'm guessing it's the 𝗵𝗵verse. I really hope, man. I really do hope. Like I said, I wouldn't be disappointed. Let's go back to the video for those just joining. Some of the things I pointed out here is there is a lot going on in the space. Now, we have had beta testers in the past tell us that there's no water in the 𝗵𝗵verse. Water, something to consider. They could have added it. Who knows? One thing I picked up was the camera movements. They're sequences, right? So you start the camera here, then you tell it to go here, then you tell it to go here, and you change the angle. So then it'll just, it'll do it smoothly between the points that you say, right? And then you have a lot of stuff happening, like the flowing water, you have the reflections from the light, you have the moving trees, you have all the textures going on. Yeah. Simple transition. This movement right here, again, it just makes me think of creator tools that might be possible for us in the 𝗵𝗵verse, because it's a very, I don't know the word that's coming to mind. I really don't. I have trouble articulating my thoughts sometimes, guys, all right? But this, it's a very like choppy movement. I don't know how to say it. Like, it's smooth, but it's not. It's very sudden. So it's again, it's the same thing. You can just go from one point to the next, but you have the camera facing one way. In the next sequence, you have it turned to 90 degrees, which is why it just suddenly changes like that. I think. But these are all positive things that if this is the 𝗵𝗵verse, they're all positive things. It's just, if it's not, they made a big mistake. Now, another thing to consider too is 𝗕𝗏 apparently made this. I'm not sure how tech savvy he is in 3D applications. I know he's good at editing, but editing is very different from like Blender. So if he made this and he was obviously able to put this together, then that also kind of makes me think that maybe this is the 𝗕𝗵verse. I don't know. Bro, is it that possible, or is it possible that something this incredible is possible in the 𝗕𝗵verse? This is the question. Dude, I can answer that for you. Yes. I already know this is possible. We've already seen videos from 𝗕𝗏𝗏 of stuff like this. And I understand 𝗕𝗏𝗏 isn't going to be a one-to-one replica of the 𝗕𝗵verse. But 𝗕𝗏𝗏 is the tech and the platform that's creating the 𝗕𝗵verse. So it's safe to assume that if they have the capabilities of certain features, the 𝗕𝗵verse will have them as well. If they don't have those specific features that 𝗕𝗏𝗏 is showing, then it's because the 𝗕𝗵 team either said no or just doesn't know about it, right? Like, we got vegan things in the chat. What up, what up, what up? Some whales in here. Yes. Appreciate you, Anthony. Yeah, hopefully that summed it up for you. Bro, we've all seen that what the 𝗕𝗵verse is capable of from Tails Batman Gothic City video. The video shown, I believe, is from a similar build. There are things even beta testers aren't, I think this is a typo, or don't have access to. I think that's what he meant to say, but aren't privy to. I already know too, because as a French Canadian, yes, you're in Montreal, I think, right? What's going on, fellow Canadian? You're not too far from me. Well, 6 hours, but that's not far for Canadians, right? I've seen leaks I'm not supposed to, but still. What if the diorama became a city in the 𝗕𝗵verse? I think that's going to be a thing. I do think that's going to be a thing. Those dioramas you should be able to scale up and then build in like scenes inside of. And if you can't do that, then I'm like hitting myself on the forehead like, what? Why not? But you should be able to scale them up like big enough. Because right now the problem inside the mobile app is that you can only scale them up so big, but then also if you scale them up larger, they become more pixelated, and like the angle, like straight lines become jagged and things like that, or like curves. So inside of the 𝗕𝗵verse on a PC with higher graphics, you're not really going to see that, or you shouldn't when you scale it up larger. And if it does happen, you should see it like a little bit less. But I fully expect to be seeing builds where you have, you know, collectibles like Ultraman or Superman that are scaled up really, really big. Think kind of like, you know, big statues in ancient Egypt. Think of like stuff like that, right? So if you can do something like that with a collectible, then you should just be able to scale up one of those environments and then build inside of them. Hey, we got Anthony hitting 75 while we're on stream. 253 sets. There we go. You guys have big collections. Damn. I've never really been much of a set collector myself. I actually have a lot of sets where I'm only missing like one from them, but I've always just been one of those guys where if I see something announced that I like and I have one of those moments where it's like, oh, I really like that, I really need it, then I'm gonna get it. The last time I really had that was probably the Countach from Lambo or Pink Panther, something like that, but that's how I've always kind of done my thing. But Canadian Mafia. We got Takashi saying, loving the quality of this promo. Yeah, I agree, man. I love the quality. I love the style. It does look good. It just, we keep coming back to that question of, if it's not the 𝗕𝗵𝘲verse, I really hope this quality is at least matches, or I really hope that if this is not the 𝗕𝗵𝘲verse, this quality doesn't surpass the 𝗕𝗵𝘲verse, because if that is the case, they just shot themselves in their foot big time. But if this is the 𝗕𝗵𝘲verse, Takashi, if you're just joining in now, I was saying I'd be happy with it, man. There's a lot going on, and I like what I'm seeing, so. Wes says Corey made that in the 𝗕𝗵𝘲verse. Not confirmed. Speculation. I really hope so, though. I really hope so. What else we got going on here? We got Viva La Vivi. I don't know if you're watching the stream, man, but if you are, thanks for watching. That's another big whale on the platform. Don't overthink it, man. I don't know if Ed's still watching. This right here is Vivi's fault now. Like, they put this on themselves. Zero communication, but you want to drop stuff like this is exactly how you make the community just explode with speculation. So, at the same time, too, if this is the 𝗕𝗵𝘲verse, it is working to their advantage, right? Like this, like we're talking about it right now. So that's marketing the 𝗕𝗵𝘲verse, that's promoting the 𝗕𝗵𝘲verse. So it just really comes down to what they are doing. I could be an idiot right now for some of the stuff that I'm saying. Who knows? But this all is based off of DMs I was originally getting, so I'm not the only one. It was mentioned in Spaces before by many beta testers that if you're familiar with Cavernous, then you probably are already aware of the capabilities. Yep. 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 And guys, if you weren't around on the channel when I did drop the Cavernous free trial video, I did actually spend some time in there because I had a 7-day free trial of the platform. So we actually walked through a bunch of all like the settings. You have like tools like pointers that you can use to kind of show, well, pointers for presentations, that type of stuff. I actually streamed the episode on a stream board inside of the environment. So there was a little inception kind of going on. We saw some of the stuff in the library, but of course it's a free trial, so it was a limited library. They didn't show everything. And then something I should also make note of here is that Cavernous is working directly with Vivi. Vivi could have had custom-made features built out only for their platform that we won't see in things like the free trial. So that's something to also consider. Ed. We got confirmation. Ed is still here. Ed is still here. Hope you've been well, man. I know you're a gamer. I know you're a gamer. If you want to join us for a stream at any point, let us know. I'm not forcing you to turn on your mic, but if you want to join us for some games, that'd be awesome. But I appreciate everyone stopping by for this this live stream. I know it's been a little all over the place, but the question is still up in the air, so make sure to drop a like on the stream if you guys are enjoying it. I feel like I should probably put something else on the screen than just a still. Check out. There is. That's a phone call. The first Spider-Man and Deadpool ongoing series, The Web Wonder and the Merc with a Mouth, teamed up for their first ongoing series ever. Talk about a real dynamic duo. How many editions of this? 3,000. Okay. Oh, I like this cover. The art on that is nice. All right. It's time to get your Groot on, Vivi fam. Ahead of the Marvel Mighties, we are Groot Mighties Series 1 drop on Vivi. Sunday. Show us your best Groot, I am Groot, or holiday Groot creation in AR or in your vault for a chance to win a random Vivi collectible. D23 photos. By the way, yeah, guys, 𝗕𝗵𝗵 and the 𝗖𝗵𝗵 homies just did a live stream kind of recapping D23. So if you guys haven't checked that out, I'd recommend it. Cool. Yeah, these are cool. I like seeing these. Am I the only one though that when when they saw the stamp, the planets look like different than they've always thought them to look? I feel like Mercury looked a lot different than what I was taught in school. Mars, maybe not so much. Same with Jupiter here. A lot more pink, but I think these are cool. I can't speak about much, however, I can refer back to information which have been provided in previous spaces. Stay excited, fam, trust me. Yeah, what's good to know, guys, is I was saying earlier how access is still a thing. So beta testers are still in there. They're still having fun. There are beta testers who have been in there for a year who are still in there, so that's a good sign. Got 122 people in here. Let's go. What was I gonna do? Go back to that video for a sec. By the way, Fro, I really appreciate you stopping by and just being in the chat, because I mean, beta testers are like, beta testers in a way are kind of also having a little bit of pressure put on themselves, because people like me are kind of going to them now. But people like you, Fro, I know, I'm sure you guys are probably getting a lot of questions, so I appreciate you just helping out where you can. Seriously. 95% of my sets are for use in the 𝗕𝗵𝗵verse. Really love all the collectibles. It's literally my childhood, along with amazing art and new interests. Picked up the rest just for MCP. Looking forward to the stamps. There we go. Yeah, I agree. A lot of my pickups are for the 𝗕𝗵𝗵verse as well. A lot of stuff I'm holding off though on, because I want to get in the 𝗕𝗵𝗵verse first, if that makes sense. Because I feel like there's going to be a lot of pieces where I didn't really kind of look at them before that I'll kind of go back to and go, oh, I can use it for this way. So I just don't want to be in a position where I'm stuck. Jess says, I trust you, bro. But I got to admit that Vivi can't tell us, trust me, bro. That's funny. Yeah. I was saying earlier, it's understandable that they kind of went silent for a little bit, but now it's past due. It's past due. Past due. Go back to this video. Sec. By the way, which one is your favorite, guys? Are you guys gonna be going for this drop, or I probably won't myself, but I'm of course gonna be picking the Black Panther group. Bro, true. I just wish we all have access already. Yep. There's nobody who wants to get in there more than me right now. Oh, Lord. The other thing that's interesting about all this is I don't know what the actual number of active users are on the platform, but I know it's way lower than what it used to be. I'd be curious to see how far off it is from the total number of beta testers, because if it's like a, 4,000 active wallets or 5,000 active wallets, and they got, what, 150 or 250 people in there, it's like at this point, just open it to everyone. I just really hope they're not perfecting every last corner of that home space. Because if they're perfecting it and they want to make sure that there's 0 bugs, that's just, I feel like that's just an unrealistic goal, especially in the gaming space. Stuff breaks all the time. It's like a routine for my PC to crash every Fortnite season now. It happened on stream. My PC was still trying to like optimize the new map. Just crashed. So. Yes, I was supposed to be in wave 3, but I'm not even sure it's still coming. Yeah, I think we're waiting for wave 4 now. Wave 4, I think. But it's also a question of whether it's going to be wave 4 and then more waves, or if it's just going to be open next. Who knows? Who knows? I hope the latter, but who knows? Backdoor says, I like them all. Those mighties look good. Yeah, I agree. I think they look awesome. I like the little meme behind it as well. You call that a meme? Yeah, I think so. 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝗏 says, liking the Thor Groot. Probably gonna skip the drop though and pick up on the market. Yeah, I can see that. These things are gonna go low, so. I actually didn't even check the drop price, but I'd assume the 13. I think that's the point that all the mighties have been at, but might be wrong there. We're waiting on wave 3? Are you sure, Backdoor? I thought it was wave 4. Either way, we need more waves, all right? Give us wave 8. Evolved. What is going on, man? I saw your post too talking about whether this is the Viviverse or not. We're trying to figure that out right now, man. Trying to figure that out right now. I bet you the team's sitting behind their computers in Singapore or New Zealand, wherever they are right now, with the villain kind of pose, their hands just rubbing together, just smiling or laughing at their laptops right now. They know what they did. They know what they did. $15 gems. All right, they went up. I wonder why 15, because I wouldn't even say that's like a gem increase. That's 2 gems. Although I guess, never mind. In the grand scheme of things, that would be a lot. I think the last mighties, didn't we have like thousands drop? I think the same. What is the edition size on these? Let's go to the Medium article here. If I can find it. By the way, cool diorama. Yeah, 3,800, close to 4,000, another 4,000, close to 8, another 1,000. Yeah, so I mean, we got quite a bit dropping, so. Drop price is 15. I will try to craft if I can for the drop. I like what they're doing with the crafting lately, I will say. And I really like how they're offering more opportunities for free crafts. I really like seeing that. Evolve says, I thought so, but the water flow is questionable. Well, what I said about the water flow, dude, is that beta testers were originally saying that water wasn't even in the Viviverse. So, I mean, that was a little while back now, so they could have just simply added it, but water is one of those things that's harder to perfect in games, so yeah, I don't know. There's no way to confirm this until VV kind of puts something out there, you know? Which is the frustrating part about all this. You know, we wait 2 years, 2.5 years, some more. They hit us with this, and then it's absolute silence. It's like, come on. Come on. Whatever. I don't want to be pessimistic or anything, though. I was saying earlier how they are doing a lot of things right. So I don't want to discredit them. The thing that stands out to me the most, though, for sure, is the camera movements. For sure. They're just very, very basic. But yeah, what's everyone saying? I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to stay live here, but I think we've kind of covered everything at this point. Question mark's still in the air, but Evolve says hard to say anything without knowing exactly what breaks NDA. They say we can talk about the experience, but I don't know. Oh yeah, Evolved is in the beta as well. Gosh darn it, I keep forgetting all this stuff. Water flow is questionable. Okay. Okay, okay. Hey, that wasn't him saying that there's water in the VV-verse, but I'm just saying Evolved is in the VV-verse. Why point out the water? You know. Anyways, I'm not going to get you in trouble, dude. Moving on. I'm hoping to complete the stamp set. Anthony says missing one secret rare to complete every stamp collection. Having a feeling they will be big in the future. Way in the future. Amazing Fantasy Groot is really cool. Yeah, the Spider-Man one is awesome as well. Yeah, the stamps are cool, man. They're some of my my favorite things to collect on the platform. I can definitely say that. They're just so easy to collect as well, right? Nice little wall art for the VV viewers, especially this planet collection. By the way, I don't think I've ever said this. Could VV have chosen a harder name for their virtual space? VV-verse. I can't tell you how many times, guys, I've said that in a sentence for a video, and I've had to say it back and cut it out because I'm like, and I'm just like saying the word all wrong. It's such a tongue twister sometimes. I heard they added the skybox on the VV-verse. Yeah, so I heard that was an original feature. They ended up taking it away at some point because there were also some feature. Well, that wasn't the only feature they took away. I think some other features was like importing your own like textures and stuff. And this was because there was no approval process or block for inappropriate content. So people could kind of just upload, you know, any files, and you obviously know where that can lead. So you got to protect the IP. So I think they took away some features to make some sort of approval process. That's what I would expect, for some sort of like algorithm to kind of pick it up or flag inappropriate content. But yeah, skyboxes. Tails was just talking about that not long ago. There is a tool you guys can use called Blockade Labs. And Blockade Labs, here, I'll pull it up. Blockade Labs allows you to create your own skyboxes for your home space. But there's different methods that you can actually use to create the skybox. So the first method is the most popular, which is going to be like inputting the prompts, just like you would like ChatGPT or Midjourney, just a sentence, right? And then it generates the image. The other way, though, is... Oh, hang on a sec. Blockade Labs. I think Blockade Labs create a virtual space in seconds. So yeah, you have the prompt, and then you also have... Where did I find the video of them drawing it? API access. I actually never saw that. That means that they could connect that to the Viviverse. But anyways, what I was getting at is Tails pretty much did say that, well, he didn't say this word for word, but it's pretty clear that skyboxes are in the Viviverse. Official Unity plugin, API access. I saw a video of... Whoa! Okay, so this is... Oh. I missed that one. You can also upload your own 360 images. So you can upload your own real-life environments as well. You could take like a 360 recording of your, bedroom and put it inside the Viviverse. I don't know why you would do that, but... it's called Blockade Labs. Evolved. We got Tactics in the chat. Good evening to ya. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream. Okay, cool. The one that I'm trying to find, though, is they allow you to also draw. Oh, Vision Pro compatible. There you go. But you can draw the environment and like lines, and then the AI will kind of fill it in based off what you've drawn. Actually, I posted this on my feed not long ago. Yeah, right here. And then AI kind of takes over, does the rest. Puts the prompt in at the bottom, right? Or just like in general what they want to see, and boom. Hey, well, appreciate you stopping by, man. Enjoy the rest of your day. But yeah, guys, Blockade Labs is going to be a tool you can use. It's a feature that you eventually have to pay for, but I'm pretty sure you got like 5 free skyboxes a month or something like that. So you can kind of just click on some of these styles and put the prompt in down here. Let's just generate one. And then you have like different filters as well. You can choose like water paintings, oil paintings, realism, like all that stuff. So there we go. This is a full skybox that I would be able to download right here. And I can now import this inside of the Viviverse. Okay. Now, actually, what I'll do... Could I open Unreal Engine here for a second, show you guys... Exit that. We'll exit that. Keep Twitter up. Okay, so I'm going to open Unreal Engine, and I'm going to show you guys an example of a platform that they could have just made this promo in, because you really just need an application like this. You just need the files to the 3D collectibles that you have, and then you can pretty much just import them in, build whatever scene you want, and then film it using the camera tools. So if the beta testers who DM me saying that this isn't the Viviverse are right, then this is likely how they filmed it. Just using a third-party platform like Unreal Engine, Blender, Probably could have got away with Unity as well. I'd be curious, though, to know if Corey has, like, experience with those platforms, though. Because I know he was good with editing. Just don't know. The 3D tools are different monsters. Alright. Loaded. Let's open up a world that I'm building right now. We'll give you guys a little sneak peek. Load, load, load. All right. Here we are. Okay, so that skybox that I just generated, guys, I could put into this world, technically. I already have one in the world, as you see. Let me open up my stream. Hey, we got VV Zombie in the chat. Hello, hello. Good evening, good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Tactic says, did the subject Sanchez already pass? It did. It was kind of short, though, because I said how I can't really speak on it. I mean, I just don't know the guy. I've heard his name several times. Don't know much about him. Don't know anything about what happened behind the scenes. There's no way for us to know. And as soon as we had Putin Cheeks kind of responded back, saying that what he was saying wasn't true, then it's hearsay at that point. Right? Like, it's either one or the other one is telling the truth. We don't know who. So speculation in this case is only going to hurt that scenario. Speculation for the VVverse is going to put pressure on the team. So that's why I'm okay with that. But yeah, this is an environment that I'm building right now. It's actually a VV map, funny enough. Going to be a VV red versus blue. I'm going to have the VV blue logo on this side, VV red logo on this side. We're going to have Marvel collectibles here, and then we're going to have DC collectibles over here. But this is an example. Like, this is a red versus blue map, obviously, so it's not like it's gotten like any realism to it. But this would be an environment that I built that they could simply build for one of their collectibles and then just film with the camera tools, right? You have all this and then more. But the skybox I also wanted to talk about. So we have a skybox in this world, and you'll see that what the world should really look like is this. So if you fly below it, you'll see that this is the starting spot, and then you put the skybox around. So the skybox is that still image, but it can completely change the environment. In fact, let me do that. Let's do purple. There we go. We got a purple nebula, right? So it completely changes the map. The skyboxes are going to be an important thing, guys. They're already confirmed. So if you haven't built a portfolio of them, I'd suggest it. I already have folders of files and files and files of textures and skyboxes and eventually 3D assets and models that we can hopefully import if approved. But yeah, this is going to be a little map that I'm making for a little event that we're going to hopefully run in the future. Little practice map. And then all these boxes that you guys see on the top here, if I click launch session, it'll actually launch the game, which I don't want to do because I am streaming and I don't want to put too much on my PC right now. But there's a lot of interactivity in this map. So all of this is water that you can swim around. This is a crowd that's actually cheering, so you look like you're kind of in this. My idea behind it was kind of like this dystopian idea of like the crowd looking into this arena where everyone's fighting. But you'll have kind of crowds in the bleachers here as well. You have a vault that opens up after 15 minutes with special stuff in here. You got all the little intricate hallways that go throughout the map. This door is automatic, so it slides open, which is cool. Zero gravity down here. Okay. When you hop in this water, you get a speed boost. So there's a lot of like little features, cool little features like that. So a little example of what game environments or virtual environments can do if you're given the right tools. Zip lines that you can go across. These right here are traps. So this doesn't show in the game, but what happens is this is triggered by the button up here. So it's a trap. So the other team can look down and trigger that, and it resets every 5 seconds. So people can't just spam it. But that's one trap. It happens on the other side as well. And then you have 2 more down here that are slide door or trap doors. So trap door opens, it stays there for 2 seconds, resets, and then you get launched into here if you fall down, right? So little stuff like this is what I hope to do eventually in the 𝗕𝗵ℴ. And it's along the lines of what 𝗕𝗏 was just talking about in the interview. All the little gaming features and interactive features that we want to see eventually, long term. Tactics, what are we looking at? What platform? You're looking at Unreal Engine. Top left. It's going to be Unreal Engine. I want to actually switch this back. There we go. But yeah. So I'm going to probably close this down. A little fish tank in here. But yeah. Stay tuned for this. You guys will see more of it in the future. I don't want to leak too much. Close that down. So yeah, guys, I think I'm going to probably wrap this up now. But just to kind of summarize everything we talked about, big question mark up in the air in terms of whether this is the 𝗕𝗵ℴ or not. We got some beta testers suggesting that it may, and then other beta testers saying that it's not. So we don't know. Some things that make me, that kind of stood out to me was the camera movements. You got a lot happening in terms of reflections, shadows, lots of movements. You got the movement of the leaves and trees blowing around, and then the water, and then all the textures and stuff like that. And yeah, I just really hope the Vivi team actually says something about this, because if this is the 𝗕𝗵ℴ in a way, what they just did was kind of a smart play, because we're talking about it, marketing, right? But we always come back to the topic of communication, and that right now about the 𝗕𝗵ℴ has been zero, none. So, which no one likes, including some people on the team, I'm sure. So that has been today's stream. We talked about Nestor as well. And yeah, I think that's everything we covered. But I'll wait a few more moments here. Is there anything else you guys want me to cover? Any other questions you guys have? If not, I'm going to wrap it up. But I appreciate everyone stopping by for the stream. Again, if you guys enjoyed it, make sure to hit the thumbs up. Whether you're on X or YouTube. If you're on YouTube, really appreciate if you guys can subscribe to the channel. Thanks for the space. Yeah, no problem, man. Hope you enjoyed it. Backdoor, appreciate you stopping by, man. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna end it here then. I may be live again over the weekend. I don't entirely know. So if you guys don't have the notification bell turned on, make sure to do that. You'll just get notified as soon as we do go live. And then as for our next episode, I'm going to try and recap the Captain Vivi and 𝗕𝗏 interview. I do want to kind of say beforehand, though, that I feel like I'm going to have a lot of trouble kind of summing that video up, because the translation is really off. The subtitles are really off. It's a little hard to follow. So if there are any German speakers listening right now, who want to kind of toss together some main points that happened in that interview, I'd really appreciate it, but it's not expected or anything. Of course, I'm going to be doing that myself either way, but yeah. Hey guys, appreciate you stopping by. Long-time supporter of the channel, always see your name. Thank you. But yeah, guys, thanks for everyone stopping by. I'm going to end it here, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.